So initial reports say that Ja Morant will visit China on the last week of July, and I think this is going to be his first time doing so as a Nike athlete. Think of it as Nike's way to reignite the interest of the massive Chinese market in his shoes, which adds up given that the Nike Ja 3 is releasing soon. Nike is basically trying to ramp up the hype. And we will probably see more of that same energy in the weeks to follow, but we don't really have to wait that long. If you remember, Ja Morant vowed to be the first to show upcoming colorways of his basketball shoes. But it seems that this one escaped his attention because as early as now, someone took it upon himself to leak this upcoming colorway. The colorway is supposedly inspired by the film Hustle and Flow. Now, if you're the same age as Ja Morant, the film is probably something you didn't grow up watching, which means the inspiration for the colorway has little to do with his personal preference and more to do with parallelisms drawn by Nike. So let's have a quick conversation. Hustle and Flow is a film released in 2005 when Ja Morant was just about to turn 6 years old. It's probably not his favorite movie growing up because it's not fit for children. Hustle and Flow was a low-budget movie that grossed almost $24 million. It was nominated for Best Actor and Best Original Song, among others, during the 78th Academy Awards, but that's beside the point. The main point is that the film is set in Memphis and it follows the story of DJ. DJ grapples in midlife crisis as he lives day to day as a pimp and drug dealer. As he reunites with an old friend who is a sound technician, he decides to chase his dream in hip-hop music. He had the talent, but he struggled. An opportunity turns into a violent confrontation and DJ finds himself in jail. Still, a glimmer of hope surfaces as his music gets radio airtime despite being locked up. Long story short, the film is a story of redemption in Memphis. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a dead giveaway because it seems to parallel Ja's situation, and it helps that the film story happens in Memphis. Not that Ja is a pimp or a drug dealer, but that he has struggled and that he's trying to redeem himself. His latest basketball shoe could be a continuation of that story. If there's one thing about Nike, it's that it can find ways to provide backstories to colorways. Time and again, we've seen this in its signature lines, and the Nike Ja 3 is no exception. Because as early as now, before the basketball shoe could even release, the Hustle and Flow colorway already proves that point. Of course, much of the Hustle and Flow colorway is taken visually from one of the film's theatrical posters. The orange is taken from the backdrop, while the dark blue is taken from the color of the car. It can also be said that the colors are inspired by the colors of the flag of Memphis, which kind of makes sense with all things considered. But of course, Nike can make up a different backstory altogether because nothing has been made official yet. At best, an official press release from Nike about the Hustle and Flow colorway may simply allude to the film. Nike has done it in the past. The perfect example is the Kobe 6 Protro Grinch. Nike doesn't officially call it the Grinch colorway because Nike doesn't want to pay the royalties. You have to keep in mind that Nike will not be the first to admit in plain English Ja's recent struggles off the court. They'll just issue a statement of support like how they did when he got suspended. Nike said that it is pleased that Ja is taking accountability and prioritizing his well-being, and that Nike will continue to support Ja on and off the court. Whatever the case, the brand sure knows how to juice money out of it, hence the Hustle and Flow colorway. Which brings us back to the press release of the basketball shoe back in April where Ja made it clear. When you put on the Ja 3, Ja wants you to feel fearless, like you can go create your own story on the court, off it. Just be you, loud and proud. That's what Ja is about. No limits, no second guessing, just go. In other words, just do it, which I think isn't always a good idea because it could put you in trouble, but that's for another topic. What I do think is that the Hustle and Flow colorway may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it sure does visually stand out for its mismatched colors. Word has it that the shoe releases this September. By the time Ja Morant has visited China, Nike is on its way to further ramp up its efforts to promote the Nike Jaw 3. The new basketball shoe will undoubtedly have a ton of colorways, and the Hustle and Flow is just one of them. And I think it's a colorway that seeks to bridge Jaw's personal struggles with Memphis culture through the film. Now, I would say it's a precursor to more colorways that will follow the same strategy, and it's highly likely that Nike will come up with an assortment of backstories to maintain the people's interest over the shoes. Question is, will the stories even be relevant? Let me know what you think.